Hello. You're welcome to the studios of Ames Media Company Limited live. It is the Ames podcast, and we're coming to you live. My name is Amina Bint Mohammed. I seem to be on the driving seat all alone today because that is because our co-presenter, Hajia Mariam Taumban, is on a short vacation. Have you been? As promoted last week, we told you that we are going to be looking at the environment today. The environment and you. What's the relationship with the environment? So, the environment, you may say that is a very broad topic, but we'll try and narrow it down to your own understanding today. And we have somebody in the studio who is an environmental consultant. Environmental sustainability consultant. Pardon me. She's here to throw lights and permit me to welcome to the studio Mrs. Halimot Oluwanishola Raji. You're welcome to the studios.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
We are happy that you are here to enlighten us on this very, very important and germane topic. Now, we take it for granted that everybody knows what the environment is. I want to begin with the understanding that the environment, a lot of people relate with it. It's not just the humans, but the living things. And when we say living things, the tiniest creature, the ant, has its own colony, is in an environment.
Sure.
The plants, the animals, and then the human being and all of that. So in a nutshell, tell us, what should we understand by the environment that we're talking about?
All right, so I will want to break it down as simple as possible because I want it very relatable. I want people to understand. So I will say what an environment is. I will say, it's a sum total of external conditions, including, like you said, living, the abiotic and biotics. Biotic are the living things and abiotic are the non-living things that actually influences the growth of a system or person. So I'll give an instance, see your aquarium. We all know, any of us grew up at aquarium.
The water is the environment of the fish.
Aquarium is an environment on its own for the fish.
Wow.
In that aquarium, you see water, you see plants, you see tiny rocks, and the fishes. So that is the environment.
Typical environment.
Exactly. So I want you to get an understanding of what typical environment is. So because the fish in the aquarium needs that water to survive. The plants in it needs it. Even the bedrocks, you see for some there are white
lovely
tiny
rocks,
stones underneath. They all need
to simulate that natural environment.
Exactly. Even her mouth, her mouth is an environment because you have a number of microorganisms. When you take in your food, either from your mouth, from the food entering into before it actually goes into the GIT, there are a number of microorganisms that need to act on your food to aid your digestion. So that is what an environment is.
Oh, okay. So environment is where you survive in or where you exist in.
Exactly, with other conditions.
Okay, so let's now look at how should we relate with our environment, typical environment, the human, the ants I talked about, the colony and all of that. I like the way you have, situated it earlier.
So how we should relate with the environment. Sincerely, it's quite unfortunate that a number of us actually just treat it anyhow. And if only we know that it is actually what we give it to it that we get back in return. Because imagine that you mismanage it, you don't treat it very well, you dump things on it anyhow, you don't manage it properly. You're on the long run on the receiving end. So how should you relate to the environment? Because even a typical plant needs every other external condition within its environment to survive. And imagine that you are a farmer. You plant your vegetables. That is what a number of people actually home farming, home gardening. You have your ewedu, your tete, and you're not watering it very well. It is not receiving the amount of oxygen it should get. You are not even weeding, because sometimes there are other things that can actually deplete with space with it, like the weeds. You're not weeding it. that plant will not grow as it should, just like we human also. When you dump your refuse anyhow, because that is the common menace everybody. A number of us actually we do this a lot. You just throw something, you feel like when it rains, the rain will take it somewhere for you. So where exactly is the question? Because on the long run there is flood. And when there is flood, someone's sockaway that is leaking joins with everything. Someone that has their borehole, and you imagine that your own borehole is very close to where that menace is happening. There is underground seepage, and you notice that on the long run, you or your family, after taking your water, you start going to the toilet, you start vomiting or pooing.
We have an epidemic, so staring us in the face.
Exactly.
Okay, so now let's look at, we'll dwell more on the relationship with the environment later on, particularly what is happening in our environment as it were now. There seems to be an epidemic looming in the States, which is different from... Okay, so how should we relate with our environment beyond what you said earlier? So how do we appreciate our environment to be able to, treat it well, as it were? Because if there is pollution somewhere, you become very unhealthy for you, and pollutants are myriads.
So, like the question, how do we relate with it very well? Let me start with one simple thing in the microbiology aspect. Maybe that one actually scales. There is a usual thing that we say, like in the microbiology lab, is microorganisms are ubiquitous. Like you can actually find them everywhere. Just see that as if when you're actually not doing something right, you're on the long run getting something. So I'll give an instance now. So now let's assume that in your own environment, you have a house, probably you're just constructing your house, and unfortunately for you, you're not done covering it, or probably doing some other things there. You just need to move into that building. So now, the way you actually dispose your fecal waste, like when you poo, you don't have a well-structured sewage system in that building of yours. And
practical.
Yes, the practical scenario, so we can be able to relate and understand how best for we can actually relate to this environment of ours. And again, you don't have a good, you don't have a good water system, like a borehole or even well. And again, the way you manage it, you don't even pay for normal bills. You say that you're in a new site, you're in a new environment, you burn them. So that I'm going somewhere. So now let's assume that now, when you defecate, you just do it openly, or you just dig a space at your backyard and you just cover it, and you say it will biodegrade. It will biodegrade. It will decay, and on the long run, it actually enriches your soil. Yes, we know that. That aside, and again, the fact that you are not paying for your normal bills, and what you do to your waste is what you just pack it together, probably towards the evening when you know that okay, fine, the dust has settled, or very early in the morning, you pack the dirt and you burn it. When you are burning, burning itself is not healthy for you. That you are burning itself.
So you're inhaling the smoke.
Because when you are burning, there are a lot of things that actually travels within the smoke. So you that are actually there burning it, you're actually inhaling a number of things that would on the long run affect your breathing system. It might actually lead to respiratory problem, you coughing on the long run. And for the other one you did earlier, you defecating on an open ground or open space. Some might just come, probably they want to, like before we actually started this program proper, we were talking about digging borehole. What are the things that people should do before doing that? Just imagine that probably you've been doing that over the years, and someone now comes, they want to dig a borehole, or someone have a fish pond around you, and they
go to that same spot.
Or imagine that probably in your own feces you have a case of H. pylori, Helicobacter, and you don't know.
What are those things? You are reaching most people that are not as literate.
Yes, I'm saying. So that one.
What is H. pylori? Helicobacter.
H. pylori, yes. So that one is, you imagine that when a patient has ulcer, they will say, someone has ulcer. One of the ways that they know in the hospital, they will say, okay, right, bring your feces.
Okay.
So they test for it in the feces. So when they see that big man in your feces, it means if it is positive.
What do you mean big man? That's like a micro...
yes.
A germ.
Yes, a microorganism. That body, when they see it in your feces, it means you have what's it called? You have ulcer. Then they need to actually place you on antibiotics to cure you. So imagine that same spot, people now go there, dig their water source from that same thing. One all of these things travels all together.
It's
You
a
see,
circle.
It's a circle. It has the way it all goes around and comes again together. And on the long run, maybe your neighbor, or even your, it might actually start from your children. You see that these children are not breathing very well. They start accumulating moisture and all like that. It will on the long run affect their health.
Okay, so what are those various ways we can protect our environment beyond what you have said? You know, it is everybody's business.
It is.
You understand? It's everybody's business, and we need to have different ways of protecting, nurturing, and pampering our environment, as it were.
There are a number of ways with which you can actually protect our environment. Number one is it starts from the house. Clean your space. Indulge your children. Let them understand that cleanliness is close to godliness. Clean your space. When you see people organizing cleanups, join them, contribute in your community. I am so happy that they have actually reinstated the every last Saturday month environmental that we used to do.
How effective has that been?
For some community, it has been. For mine, it is actually effective in my community. People come out when it comes to everybody. Even sometimes when we don't have the number of people that we assume to have, some of our fathers.
I'm sure you are leading that delegation as an environmentalist.
They come, they shout, block, find something, come outside, block, come outside, oh. You see everybody coming out. So, and again, let us see this, we protecting it as a community, as a general, not just
as a responsibility.
Not do it. It's a responsibility. Myself or everybody have a take. We have a role to play in this. Join cleanups. Also blow whistle when your neighbor is not doing the right thing. Tell someone. Don't keep it to yourself. Blow the whistle. One of my child does something and it is really funny. So there is actually one of our neighbors that burn their waste very well. They don't, because what they do, one of the things they do, the lawman in our area does is, if you pay for your waste bill, there is this placard they give you. So whenever they come to pick waste on Saturdays, you tender that thing to them and they pick your waste and go. But a number of people don't have this placard because they don't pay. So what they do is sometimes they now pack their refuse and join it to people that pays, such that when they come, you are tabling your your placard, they'll pack it. Or sometimes when people are not at home, they on the long run burn it. So what my children does is, whenever they see someone doing that, they just go inside and get a kettle, they put water in it, and they go and quench that fire. He's 10 years old, but then he's aware. You understand that.
You have nurtured him enough.
Yes, he's aware. You understand that this is actually detrimental to everybody in the surrounding.
Okay, so let's look at all the various known problems and hazards in the environment. You have just enumerated one, which is the smoke, because when you are burning, the smoke is all over the place and people inhaling. A lot of people who have health challenges like asthma and all of that, they inhale and So can you enumerate some others?
Yes, one of the other things again is when it comes to fecal oral, when purging, vomiting, typhoid, cholera. Cholera is that one is actually is a big one. That has to do with water. So imagine that probably there is a water contamination around and they don't know, probably you have your dirt packed in a place that it is just there, and when it rains, like some communities now experience flooding. So now your waste is not properly managed and everything just jumps together and the water travels as far as right, and on the long run gets itself into a well or a bowl nearby. So cholera looms from that. Respiratory tract infection looms for environmental when you're not managing it very well, from environmental hazards. Climate change, we're all experiencing it. Extreme heat looms from when you're not doing your treating the environment very well. Those are the parts of the hazards that happens. Soil degradation, you on the long run see that ideally a fertile soil whereby you just put your bean and on the long run it germinates very well, or your vegetable, your any of other things. You see that this soil is not as productive as it used to be, because over the long run, probably maybe your neighbor or yourself, where you put your generator, there is a direct drainage of your engine oil directly on the soil.
Wow.
That's causes soil
degradation. That's another challenge.
It is. That is a soil degradation. You see that, things are not germinating. So then what you need to do is start plowing your soil to make it very active and more nutritious. That is number 4. And again, one of the things again that actually affect is also economical. Imagine that now there is floods. People who will not be able to go to work, even students will not be able to go to schools. And people that go to work on the long run, they're expecting something on the long, which is payment, salary. You are not working, or even you that have a shop, you are not opening your shop. How will you make sales? So part of the environmental hazard is economical, also.
Okay, so we'll continue with the conversation. The program is still the AIMS podcast, coming live from the studios of AIMS Media Company Limited. We acknowledge your following. We acknowledge your contribution thus far. We'll be coming to you to take your comments and your questions. You know, we have our expert here in the house, our consultant, environmental consultant. You're welcome back to the program again.
Thank you very much.
Mrs. Oluwanishola.
Oluwanishola, yes,
I got it right this time. Okay, so let's progress. Now, the environment, like I said at the beginning, is a very broad topic. What has growth in population got to do with the environment? You are heaving a sigh of relief.
Sincerely,
a big one, right?
Sincerely, even research has shown that urbanization, population growth, like immense population growth, has been one of the major factors hindering one of our environmental issues, especially in terms of waste management. Because we know Lagos now, even a recent data has shown that the Lagos population on its own is around 30 million now. And there is usually a forecast data that they says that Lagos on its own generates 13,000 tons of waste on a daily basis, and that is false. Because even me, I did a post on LinkedIn around last year, and I did a self-evaluation of, let's assume that an household have like 5 persons in their house, and ideally, let's say what they generate in that house, like let's say like a kg of waste on a daily basis. Like now, to the maths. And however, I saw of recent data that shows that now Lagos generates 20,000 tons of waste on a daily basis.
Interesting.
So now you can see that, I know everybody wants to come to Lagos, looking at the job opportunity here, the networking system, you meeting people and all, like everybody wants to relate and make money. But then urbanization, population growth, and then now they say everybody should fit to some baby. Nobody wants to fit to some baby. Like
what is fit to some baby?
Yes, like they say, when like for you to actually you managing or okay, fine, have births, or like I said, birth control. But then Islamically they will say something Islamically is not good. Allah says you should
have as many as
you should have as many as you have. But then again, just because population growth is one of the menace that is actually affecting what environmental effect is. Like now when you get to some population now, it is usually overpopulated in terms of
densely
space.
Populated.
When you get to all these areas like Makoko, the number of population of people that we have Ajegunle, and for even research has shown that the number of people actually goes to those places and settle because of the economy, yes, like wow, they can actually manage and the prices in terms of cost of housing, cost of food. Because the truth is, I was at Badagry last weekend and I was amazed when I bought
the cost
corn.
Of food.
I was like, they are enjoying. Yeah, I bought corn of 1,000 naira and it was really much, like almost 19 or 20 pieces.
Wow.
And they're not small corns. So a lot of people actually chose these areas because it is quite habitable for them. They can afford the standard of living there. The cost of eating to feed their family is still within range of what they. Some even do not mind transporting themselves all the way from Badagry and come and work on the mainland in Lagos on a daily basis. So there is we can't shy away from that fact that population growth, and it is really immense, is really affecting from
the environmental protection.
Yeah, from our weather, for what we are feeling in terms of weather, the heat, like even recent forecast, there is a program that will be ending, it ended yesterday. It was held in Unilag, and they're actually they're trying to foresee what the dry season looks like and trying to encourage Lagosians to try and look into adaptive measures that even when this actually happens, just like they've actually seen that the rain and the flood in Lagos State now will be very high. It has been, they said it, and people, you are following the environmental news, you know that they saw it beforehand.
You're forecasting.
They saw it before, and so now, just like what they're actually telling us ahead of time, like the heat is likely to be on the very high side also. So just prepare your children and your household.
Okay, so you hinged on waste disposal. That is the core of this conversation. I mean, before now, Lagos State started something very novel, which is the Loma that you talked about, and you pay stipend to help dispose your refuse. And then, of course, when that happened, the cart pushers used to assist, but they banned them too. But lately, we experienced a surge of refuse sitting on the fronts of homes. I'm sure on your way here, you would have been experiencing it, particularly in the mainland. For those, the bourgeois and the island, Ikoyi, Lekki, and it may not be, because the nature of our job takes us round. When you talk of Yanoba, Egbeda, what's it called now? Mushi, Ajegunle, it is so K2.
Yeah, I saw.
As an environmentalist, what is responsible for this? Because it's a hazard, an epidemic, waiting to explode.
Yes, sincerely, our current situation in Lagos State with regards to waste management is actually alarming. Even children can see. Even like I said earlier, even a blind person that cannot actually see how heavy or how large it is can actually know from the stench of smell. Even when you are standing at various bus stops now in Lagos. The truth is, Lagos State actually has a number of resources when it comes to managing our waste.
Yeah.
And Lagos State they have 6 landfills. 3 of them are principal ones, and we have 3 supporting the bigger ones. But the one that everybody knows is the Oluwanishola. And it's the bigger one. And Oluwanishola is the biggest of the landfills. It's sitting on 40-something acres of land.
And it's still not enough?
And it's still not enough.
Wow.
Because our population, like I said, the recent data, 30 million, like Lagosian. That is what her population is counting, like we. And that is like, when you get to some country, that is the population of the country.
Of the whole country.
Of the whole country. But now, this is just a state.
A state. That is not even the biggest state in Nigeria.
This is just a state, so you cannot. So now, the problem is, what actually happened is, Oluwanishola is actually undergoing a reform. They are trying to work on it. I don't know if you've been following the news. Later last year, there was, between Zoom Lion and Loma, there was like a collaborative work within them. So Zoom Lion is actually helping to work. And I will tell you for free that they actually just concluded the route with which all these what's it called, the vehicles go to actually dispose their refuse on the landfill. They just finished that land. But then, because you can now imagine that, because just one landfill out of 3 principal ones is actually having is undergoing construction, you can see what Lagos has actually turned into. And we have other supporting landfills, like the one at Ikorodu here. We have one at there's one at Ekpe. The one at Ekpe is also one of the supporting ones, and there's other one. But the 3 principal the one at Oluwanishola is the first one, and the one at Lagos Iba, we call it Solute. That is Solute, what's it called? Solace landfills is along Yanoeba, around that Lasso. And the other one is at Halimot. Those are the major 3 principal landfills.
But these places you have called, they are also exploding refuse disposal.
I'm going there.
Okay.
Because ideally, when a part of your body is paining you,
it affects
others. They say, my body is paining me, and it's just a part. This is not me giving Loma an excuse. I do not work with Loma.
No, you're an environmentalist, so you should be current with what is happening.
Exactly. But then, Loma is like an umbrella body. And they can't do this alone. We have PSP. So the PSP are the private sector in partnership that comes and actually manage waste in different communities. Like for my own community, the PSP responsible for mine is Oluwanishola. And Oluwanishola does his job very well.
Yeah, they should have just named it after your name.
And we have a number of PSP that are actually doing their work very well. I know of one that works around it, that covers the Tiosa. And actually, it goes as far as Shagamu to dislodge what they pick in
Wow.
communities. So like I said this earlier before the program actually started, like because we know that, like I said, we have other landfills, but then the major one is under construction, and even the way or the road for trucks to actually get their way to dispose there is under maintenance.
Wow.
They just finished it.
So there are myriads of problems.
There is. So now, and again, the problem again, a number of people are not even paying their Loma bills.
That's another issue.
A number of people are not paying, and I will not blame a number of these PSP. Yes, I know some people want to batch me with this, but I will still say it again. Because me, in my own house, we pay, and we have receipts.
No, but it's even one of the...
Some people don't pay, and they're also running businesses.
Listen, the payment thing, there should be some form of punitive measure, because it's one of the required utility bill
Exactly.
that you use even for
banking,
whatever.
yes,
Exactly.
Yes.
So that's, they should just get their ass together so don't give people who can't pay. There should be some form of punitive measure to make them pay. But what I can get from what your analysis so far is that we also know that Lagos State started what is called recycling. If that is well done, shouldn't this problem be half solved, as it were?
Exactly. I would say that Lagos is actually trying in terms of waste valorization. We also call it resource recovery, whereby we visit a number of communities and we tell them we are doing waste valorization. This actually encourages people that inhabit that environment to bring in their different recyclables, like plastic, like carton, even textile or anything. They bring it to the venue, and on the long run, they get something in return. It could be voucher to fill their gases. Sometimes vouchers like airtime. Sometimes people even get cash they get money, and some even get food items. Some even get health scheme. I have been able to work with SA, to the governor of Lagos State, on climate and circular economy, and these are one of the projects that she champions. So we go to different facilities, but then I would say that we have the local government area in Lagos State is more than like 57, I think. And then I hope that if this strategy of this movement or innovation actually goes around and reaches everybody,
Nooks and cranny,
it would actually make it better. And there's something we are actually pleading that government should actually do when it comes to strategies with regards to proper waste management to reduce these menace. Number one is we are actually urging people to start sourcing their waste from the point of generation, from their various houses. Like now in your house, your yam peel, your pineapple peel, a number of us commingle our waste together in just one bin. When we start separating our waste from the point of generation, which will actually reduce the amount of debt we have on our landfills. Even our landfills will not be this filled up,
congested.
And on the long run, your recyclables have a higher value. It's even higher value because the value chain of how recycling works is when a recycler picks up your plastic now, or like a carton or textile waste. For plastic, what they do is they weigh it, and when they weigh it, the value of what your plastic or recyclable is, that is what they now calculate to give you money. However, there's factors that would actually determine if your recyclable is worth buying or not. Number one is how clean it is. Well, an average Lagosian home, even an average Nigerian home, don't sort their waste. We commingle it,
combine everything
together, and on the long run, it actually reduces the worth of that waste, because people that want to buy it, they need to factor the cost of them sorting it, cleaning it into their own production before they now say they want to crush it or bale it before selling it to those in the manufacturing space. So we as individuals, we should please sort our waste from our point of generation. And for Lagos State, we are pleading. I am very sure that if Lagos can actually invest in infrastructural when it comes to each local government having recycling spaces, let's say even if they can't afford to have in all the local governments in Lagos State, can they merge maybe nearby local governments, like let's say like two
collaboration,
so this would actually reduce the menace of what we have in our landscapes. People will start earning right from their local government.
Exactly, that's where I'm going to
get out.
That's my next point. In the area of this refuse, We hear of waste to wealth.
Wealth, yeah, that's valorization I was saying, yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So, how do we engrain people, encourage people to know that plastic, that yam peels,
Yes.
that pineapple
The
peels
carton,
can be reused? The
your
carton.
iron, the
You know,
textiles.
most of the cartons that we have, they are recycled materials,
Yes,
particularly
ones, they use
in the
them.
foreign countries.
They use them now. They buy it. That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't have enough of infrastructures that actually help people to actually, because for me now, I have access to some in my areas, and I know that we have a number of recyclers now. In the, like, I know for Ikorodu they have in Ikorodu. I mean, I stay within Halimot of Infestac. We have a number of recyclers there. And when you take all of these things to them, they weigh it, like I said earlier. They weigh it and they pay you. But then, is your recyclable? Is it clean? So we encourage.
Is it worth the money?
Exactly. Is it worth buying? Is it worth buying?
Is it worth buying? How are you recycling your products, your waste? How you even to earn your money? Let's take a breather. Let's go for a short break. We'll be back soon.
Ames Media Company Limited offers media services for developmental journalism, public relations, marketing, event coordination pan-Nigeria, and training. Top-notch media content comprising documentaries, talk shows, magazine and children's shows, each and all promoting family values for sustainable development. Groups, corporate bodies, government, NGOs, groups, corporate bodies, government, NGOs, UN bodies, and more. Be reassured, N bodies, and more. Be reassured that our studio facility will meet your yearnings of digital solutions to your broadcast content. We are peopled by board members with
it's Child Crest.
panache, passion, and professionalism. Make her the lead driver of our goal-focused team. Entrust while meeting your target audience. www.amesmedia.com.ng, info@amesmedia.com.ng. Like us on our media.com.ng. Like us on our Facebook page, Ames Media Company Limited. Ames Media, turning your dreams into reality.
Welcome back. It's the Ames podcast coming live from the studios of Ames Media Company Limited. How do you relate with your environment? Are you making some money with your waste? We're talking about recycling and all of that. Do you sort your waste to be able to, have a clean and safe environment? We still have with us in the studio live Mrs. Oluwanishola Raji, an environmentalist, a consultant at AIDS.
Yes.
You're welcome back to the studios.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, man.
Okay. How do you think our individual environments, individual behavior has affected the environment?
Like, sincerely, one of the main the things that we are facing in Lagos State, now not even Lagos, like it is general, because I've been able to travel and see for some states within Nigeria, and I will tell you that behavioral factor is one of the big issues that we have. How will a sane person actually buy something after eating it? What you do the next thing is just throw it out of the window. You're also part of the problem. You see an adult, a well-grown adult, well-dressed, when they speak, you would be amazed like, this person is learning, this person is educated. But you know that I've been able to
enlightenment.
Exactly.
Now, I also face similar problem. Just disposing that's some ice cream, sweet, and they just dump. I call the child immediately. Pick it up. You understand? I have a habit. If I eat any
close to godliness, it starts from their space, the corner of their rooms. Clean it and trash it properly. I want to urge mothers or parents or even guardians to visit their children's rooms. Their bed corners. You will see the number of sweet nylon or biscuit or sachet pure water your children just dump anyhow. When you see this thing, don't pick it for them. Call them
to do it
and
themselves.
one thing about children of that age, when it's nurturing them, is when the thing works. When over time you keep doing a thing, it actually becomes a part of you.
Of them.
So let your children.
That is where it's.
But if it is really much, they know. Please take broom and sweep this. Involve them. Don't say
they are too small.
No. Not children. Not even the children we are actually giving birth these days. The way they think, the way they say things.
I call them digital children.
Sincerely, that is why in my home brand, Brahma Global Enterprise, we do advocacy whereby we visit schools, both primary and secondary. We go to schools and that when you are doing this is the impact.
Okay.
This is the effect.
The of the house, there should be a waste bin. That is part of the nurturing.
Also, yes.
What do you think about that?
It is not a big deal. It is actually nice. You see some house, just like the way a number of us are pushing to Lagos State now, and we hope that they actually embrace this and full idea.
Beautiful as it were. Now, the issue of the entire environment, the entire ecosystem. If you live in Lagos, you are confronted with the horn from the environmental pollution, even in the area of not our neighbor's keeper. You just want to play music, do whatever you want to do. Is that part of lack of protection of the environment?
Yes, I love this question, and I had my postgraduate internship at La Sepa. And like I said, I had my undergraduate internship there.
I'm still coming to that.
I went for my postgraduate internship there, and I'll tell you for free that you can actually complain or report to your neighbor that disturbs. There is a noise limit in Lagos State. An environment that has school, an environment that is like where people are staying, like where this place, so it's just mainly people. We don't have school there, we don't have industry there. Because the way Lagos actually sets the the environment, we have the industrial, we have the school environments, and we have where people just like our homes, maybe like estates. There are permissible noise limits in these places.
Wow.
And when they exceed it, you have the right to go and report.
How effective is that?
See, sincerely, I remember when I went, because when I was at LASEP, I was able to go to some of the departments. I didn't go to everything. I was able to go to, because when I was now with one of the bosses there, I think Mrs. Okilome was the one that actually handled the session with me. So I was now asking her that, I know that what you've actually told me, Lagos is working, but the truth is, not every Lagosian actually understand that there are rooms for them to report.
Rights.
And you have rights over this. You can actually go there. Your rights, they would answer. They will even go, and the truth is, before, and one thing about the environmental spaces, we don't just, they don't just maybe like just tell someone, fine, you are not complying, they just lock up your space or anything. There are systems, there are steps to which, because they call you, they let you know that this is somebody. They don't even disclose, because oftentimes they have seen that when people come to report, actually it creates enmity. Some people even going diabolical.
Of course.
So now what they do is now they actually hide their identity, but they create
protection.
A system whereby remediation, whereby you come, they invite both parties, and you might choose not to even show in person. They will just put a call through over the phone, and there will be remediation. But then after the first notice, second notice, and the third notice, the person still repeat the same thing. That is when you see all these red ribbon, red and white across the houses, and they lock it up.
It
means over the time they've actually cautioned that person. They have called their attention to it, but they did not adhere. They need to now sanction them.
Information you are getting free of charge from the studios of Ames Media Company Limited. This is the Ames podcast. Now, our conversation? What has green energy? What has it got to do with it?
I think Okwem asked me this question earlier. And so when it comes to green energy is just like we having a cleaner source of energy. Like we now have solar, we have inverter, and all that. But then there is a course we were taking in class, and one of our lecturers was saying us that Because a solution or an innovation is actually nature based, does not mean that that solution is not does not have any
Authentic.
effect. So now solar power, we can see the recent menace with solar.
Yes.
That there is this fire gushing out
inflammatory and all of that.
and for inverter now, the battery leakages and all like that. All of these are not 100% clean. They are sustainable, quite all right. They are
Okay.
quite innovative, but the sustainability when it comes solar, we know sun is there for us, we are enjoying it. But for that of the what's it called, this inverter, it is causing a lot of menace that we are not taking note of. Oh. Because when it's one of the compounds in batteries that it is lead to being cancerous or causing cancer is lead, and it dominates batteries. And when it comes to inverter, almost I don't know what the population of that thing
Don't
is like.
scare us,
I'm not
because
scaring
most
you
of
with a
this,
solution.
no, of course, that's where I'm going to. Now, what's the best way to use them so that we can cohabit? Because it's not,
Adaptation
it's
and
almost
mitigation.
inevitable.
Yeah, it is because a number of people don't even have light in their houses. I mean, I use solar in my house. I don't use water. I use solar. What I advise, if your lights are not in use, off them. Let them rest. But some people, there is light though.
24/7.
There is no light though. They see the outside is still very bright though, and not bright though. They on the light all the time. Learn to save energy, because when you are even saving, energy saving is part of being ensuring that your environment is
Mentally
sustainable.
safe.
Ensure that you are saving energy. When you are not in a place and the light is not in use, or you don't have a need to actually on it, switch it off.
Okay, let's look at other hazards in the environment now. Erosion, flood. You know, what hazard can this pose, and how should we be conscious of it to be able to manage and maintain it?
So I want to start from first. A number of us, or an average person, thinks that flood, erosion, and environmental problem, it's a lie. All of these problems are not only environmental problems. They are economical, they are social problems. Flood, for instance, I think I just dabbled into it when we were talking earlier. When it comes to being economical, it is even public health issue. In the sense that we don't know what your water source is in your house. We don't know if you use a borehole, it is well. And for some places they still use their what's it called? They just use their bowl or bucket to just go to a stream and just clean the surface and just take it. Imagine that maybe there is flood and everything has just jumped together, even the real water and the flood actually gave
And
the
physics is in there.
Physics is in there. So that was it makes your water has a number of microorganisms. It makes your water not more potable, because for some communities they actually drink from streams. They don't have access to borehole. Yes, because Lagos State has to be a state that is actually dealing with water stress. I'm not sure if a number of people know. Water stress. Lagos
Okay,
State.
what's that?
That's like, because it means that in some places now they don't have access to clean water.
Okay.
So you see for a number of firms, what they now do for other water recovery process or means is now they now treat their effluent, their wastewater. So now when they treat it, so the water recovery they now use that water probably for flushing or cleaning. So now it helps them to reduce the number of the amount of water that they use for core production processes. I was at Guinness like 2 weeks ago, and sincerely, Guinness is actually doing a massive work.
Are you going to pay that money for promoting them?
I'm so sorry. I have to do it. I have to do this, but these are one of the things we're actually pushing and encourages firms and people that are in the manufacturing or production space to actually invest in resources like your water treatment plants. Ensure that you invest in it. Have ETPs. Because one of our friends actually said that when they forgotten the country, they traveled out, and they were surprised that when they finished using their toilet and they wanted to flush, so after flushing, so they told them that they said they wanted drinking water, and they told them they can actually drink that water, that same water. They were like, no,
it has been treated.
That it has been treated, that they are fine. They waited, or they don't have that energy, like no, I can't take this. So when they wanted to finish them, they didn't get water. They end up drinking it, And he said, Alima, that water is so pure.
Really?
I'm like, are you for real? He said they were drinking it. They want to cook. They use it to cook. That is, I've forgotten the country. So one of the things we can do is, for companies, for brands, invest in your
Water
water
treatment.
recovery and water treatment, such that even your, and the truth is, there is even a law that under no circumstance are you expected to actually discharge your effluent, your wastewater, into the open soakaway or streams without you treating it. Because some firms actually they use heavy loads of chemical in their production. So imagine that they do not dose off those chemicals before discharging into the environment.
It's going into the
It
environment,
goes into
another
other people's
hazard.
water streams. That's another hazard. So you see people having
Interesting.
cholera or or going to the hospital oftentimes, and they don't get to understand what the main issue is. And in the long run, it is being traced to the water they take, what they use in cooking their foods and all like
There are
that.
a lot of diseases really that are waterborne.
Yes,
You know.
yes.
In this whole conversation, what is EIA?
Environmental impact assessment.
So how is that relevant to what we're saying now?
Wow, environmental impact assessment is, how will I put it so that my audience or the people out
Understand.
understand. Environmental impact assessment is actually a framework, it's like a tool, environmental tool to actually check that before a project commences, is that environment suitable to actually take that project? Because there are a number of frameworks or a number of steps that you actually need to take in EIA. But I'm so sorry, in this part of the world, just few people does this. Because when it comes to EIA, it is meant to happen on a virgin land.
Wow.
A land that you have not even
Planted anything at all.
you have not even put one block on it.
Okay.
So you need to do that EIA to ascertain that this land, because what you are looking at again is you look at the immediate environment. What are what's it called? The plants, we do baseline study when it comes to EIA. You do the scoping. That scoping is when you need to communicate with people in that environment. This is what we want to do. And these are the things that are required, yes, for. So, and then when it comes to EIA, there is stakeholder engagement involved in EIA also. So maybe you need to meet with people that are inhabiting in that environment, including even people that are not really okay. Maybe they are partially impaired. As long as they are inhabiting, they are staying in that environment, you need to involve them.
All inclusive.
To ensure that when you're actually doing this thing or this is your construction, they are not on the receiving end on the long run. So when it comes to the importance of EIA, it's actually to ensure that construction are free and fair. They are not having any adverse effect on the environment and human itself.
Interesting. Well, it's the AIMS podcast coming to you live from the studios of AIMS Media Company Limited. The environment and you is our focus, and we have sustainability consultants, environmental sustainability consultant, Mrs. Oluwanishola Raji. You are welcome again.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, we are still expecting your comments. We are with them. I deliberately left this. I want you to endorse all what you have been saying all the while. Tell us, what's your interest in the environmental issues?
Sincerely, my interest has always been around waste management, proper waste management.
Okay.
That has always been, because I can
You
remember.
need to share your background with us.
Yes, I can. Like I said, my movement or my journey actually started right from campus. I studied environmental biology for my undergraduate, studying my MSc in environmental sustainability and policy. So, and like I said, the main course for my undergraduate was pure and applied biology. So, but then when you get to 300 going to 400, you have the choice they split us into two. They now take options. So we have, then I go for microbiology or environmental biology. Then I chose environmental biology. And my aim then was actually because I wanted to work in NNPC, like oil and gas and all like that. Even then, I do not actually understand what the role of an environmentalist would be in the oil sector as at then. You understand? Like, I was just very curious, a young girl that actually wanted to. And after then, I came to Lagos for my internship, and I was really privileged to actually have part of my intern at NNPC, the one at Shagamu Road, and I did one at La Sepa also. So having engaged in these two sectors, I was like, wow, there is a lot of room for environmentalists. Like there is there is a lot of work for us to do. And you know, my dad actually wanted me to be a doctor, like doctor,
As
doctor. But then
usual.
I think on the long run, he actually
Oh,
saw
yeah.
that this girl has passion for environment, and it is all. I have the passion for it. I have gone to speak on
It
podium
radiates.
university because it's something like
Part of
I
you.
can be called to come and speak and I will not prepare.
Hmm.
It's just how I have seen it. It has been part of me. And even while I used to be in the production space, when I was doing herbs and spices, I was running production. I was one of the people that actually started you bringing your plastic jars, your spice jars, and I give you something in reward. Is that I give you a spice in return or a discount in return? So it has been like
Incentive.
that incentive. So and that is where the circular economy actually comes in.
Okay.
Because what I know that is where Lagos State is actually trying to navigate or go towards that path now, circular economy. Because Lagos State, what we have been doing over the years, we have been doing is the linear part of the economy, just like we use and trash. But the circular, that resource, that waste keeps it will remain in circle. Nothing comes to waste when it comes to circular economy. Nothing comes to waste.
That's where I'm going to. You just shared your experience in business now. How do you encourage business owners to be more environmental friendly?
Sincerely, first thing is, irrespective of the kind of business you are doing, I know that you are generating waste. So number one is audit your waste. Audit your waste. Audit your processes. I don't want to know what kind of firm you are. If you are running a communication firm or a production, you buy one machine or the other. And sometimes when they pack all of these things for us, we have it in cartons, we have it in styrofoams, and not styrofoams, all these foams that to pack it such that it will not break, maybe due to transitioning or like logistics. Sometimes when you buy the machines or anything, it's usually in nylon. And for some firms, they use a number of sachet packaging for packagings and all like that. You can transition, but however, you need to audit, because what you don't audit, what you can account for, you won't be able to wait or know how you want to create solution to that thing. So when you audit your waste system in your firm, you know, okay, fine, this is what we are actually generating the most. Okay, fine, what solutions, what innovation can we come up with that actually help us to make the environment a better place, or make sure that our processes are actually environmental friendly. And
Go on.
So and again, one of the things that it is one of the checklists in presently in Lagos is, if you have a firm, it is advisable that you have a green space in your company now. It is a recent checklist, and I know that when people start coming for the quarterly monitoring evaluation, they start looking for all of these things. Beyond that, what amount of air, what amount of pollutant do you release into the environment? Do you treat your effluent before discharging them? How do you take care of your staffs? All of these things are embedded in the environment. But again, sometimes when we go for monitoring and evaluation, we still engage their staff, because when it comes to environmental sustainability, it embodies ESG.
What's ESG?
It's environment, the social, and the governance.
Okay.
The social part actually has to do with well-being of your staff. How do you treat them? Do they go for
the environmental friendliness?
Yes. Do they go for breaks? Because there are some manufacturing firms that they work all round.
What would they do?
They don't give the staffs break, and on the long run, they might collapse, and on the long run even affect the environment itself. So all of these things are the things that we look into.
Interesting. You see, this whatever you called it, ESG, it's a good and notable idea. But with this refuse overflow, how effective has that been?
When it comes to ESG, it's like a framework, or it's like a checklist that actually makes us to know that you as a firm, you as a person, what are your processes? Are they environmentally friendly? Are you treating your staffs well? And for the governance, it things are economic. So what are those things? How are you giving back to the society, your CSR? So now, looking at the the waste flow the waste menace that we're actually experiencing. Ideally, you see that for firms, people now share their ESG reports, yearly reports, and when you go to some places, you see a number of firms say that they have actually reduced their, in terms of energy efficiency. They have now transitioned. A number of people have automated machines. They don't have a number of people, just people working. They have automations and everything. And what they do in giving back, probably for some people, they know that, okay, fine, if our firm actually generates a number of, we pollute the air, they have planted trees. Some actually do their CSR, some for CSR, some plant trees, some go to schools, some invest in people, and some even support environmental projects like saving turtles and the likes.
Yeah, the interesting thing is that time is never enough. Imagine 1 hour has gone by.
Are you for real?
And you see, I need you to just have this wrap up.
Wrap up, yeah.
The people will not forgive me if I don't talk about disposing of pure sachet, pure water.
Sachet.
You understand? Sachet water. That's a menace on its own.
Yes,
You know.
yes.
So in wrapping up, just
All right,
30
so
seconds.
what I want to encourage us is, the truth is, before we actually get to the root of we sorting our waste problem, we need to actually improve on our behavior, how we see waste. Number one, try from today. I know that a number of firms, and it depends on community as an individual. You might not have that space to actually you put in bucket to sort your waste. You can start with just 2 bins. Put your general waste in one, and the recyclables in one. What are the recyclables? Your recyclables are your sachet nylon, your pure water, your table water, your carton, your your even metals, your all these rubbers, your wristband. Those things are recyclables. Put them in one line, and you have your general waste, like residual ones, and the ones that are biodegradable, like your food waste, anything that comes from your kitchen that is wet are biodegradable. You can put them in the other one, whereby this one they can on the long run use for composting, and those ones that you can actually recycle can give you that, because just the way people, yes, you sell them and you get money for that. Like I said earlier again, is ensure that when you're actually sorting you don't commingle them, because the value of your recyclables is dependent on how clean they are.
How clean and how weighty they are.
How clean they are.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Halima Oluwanishola Raji,
Yes.
Environmental Sustainability Consultant.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming.
It's my pleasure.
And I hope you have listened and you have learned a lot. How do you treat your environment? Ensure that you are environmental friendly. Let's do this again same time next week, when we shall bring you another live program. Guess what we are going to be talking about? Are you a woman? What's your career? We're going to be focusing on the career woman. Join us then. Until then, bye for now. From all of us here on Ames Media Company Limited. See you next week. Bye.